Have you ever been driving and you hit a bump and you wonder, what was that? I mean, most people do, but when this happens, it's usually just a question that lasts a few seconds and then the brain moves on. But what if every bump you hit on the road, you're wondering if it's a person, if you hit somebody? Every noise you hear, you wonder if you actually hit somebody. Maybe your brain is even telling you that you wanted to hit somebody. You wanted to hit that pedestrian. You obsessively check your mirrors to make sure that person that you just drove past wasn't hit. It's possible that you may go back. You make sure you're looking for evidence to see if you actually hit somebody or not. You feel a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. You do not feel comfortable until you get this verification that you actually didn't hit somebody. If this sounds like you might struggle with, well, OCD, but more specifically, hit and run OCD. Some individuals might put this in the category of harm OCD. Let's go through how someone experiences hit and run OCD and what the treatment looks like. Here are some common symptoms that I look for when I'm searching for hit and run OCD. Individuals sometimes will only drive with others in the car because these passengers can verify to them if they actually hit somebody or not. They've got a second pair of eyes because, the passenger would definitely say something, right? Individuals may entirely avoid driving just altogether. If I don't have to drive, I don't even have to worry about it. They may avoid certain areas such as schools, roads with bike lanes, or any potholes, places where there's playgrounds, essentially just anywhere that might have people. If they can completely avoid these areas, they don't have to worry about it. Often, individuals will reassure themselves and say words like, no, I didn't really hit somebody. No, I'm not really a bad person. Nothing bad's actually gonna happen. That was just a pothole. You would probably know if you actually hit somebody. This is something we've learned to do our entire life. Reassure yourself. But the problem is, when we do this, it actually makes the brain start doubting again. It's like, but how do you actually know? You don't have any evidence to support you didn't hit somebody. You're playing a risky game by not figuring this out. Some individuals may seek reassurance from others, whether it's their spouse or their parents or their friends. Do you think I should go back and check? Do you think I would actually know if I hit somebody? Do you feel like I should follow my feelings if I actually hit somebody or not? Like, should I keep pursuing this or not? They want the other individual to tell them if they are fine or not. But this often is not enough. It does not cause them to back off, to just let it be. Individuals may ask the person, hey, on your drive home, did you notice anything? Did you notice any police cars, or did you see somebody on the side of the road, or did you see any blood spots? They want to get that verification that they didn't actually hit somebody. Sometimes individuals will even listen to the radio. I want to make sure that every single sound that I hear is real, whether it's a screeching tire, or it could be somebody screaming, say, hey, don't hit me. Or it could be somebody trying to get my attention. They're honking their horn. Hey, you hit somebody back there. They may be so completely hyper-focused on these sounds. They're looking at their rear view mirror and their side mirrors. These become their best friends because they can obsessively look at them to make sure they didn't hit somebody. But it can actually be more dangerous for them when they're driving because they're not paying attention to the road. They're looking at the mirrors. They could even be looking for other cars to signal them and say, hey, something happened over here. Probably the biggest compulsion is actually returning to the scene. They may go around in circles and check these spots very clearly to make sure that nobody was actually there. They don't see a body, they don't see blood, they didn't see police cars, they didn't see other people walking around wondering what's going on. They may look for those potholes. Maybe it was a pothole, maybe it was a person. Maybe they look for news reports to see if they can find anything. Did somebody talk about a pedestrian that got hit? There's a hit and run tonight. Maybe that was me. Others may obsessively look at their car for damage. Like, have I had this dent in the past? Where did this come from? How are my tires looking? It really keeps people trapped. So you may be wondering, what in the world is the treatment? What are you supposed to do with this? Shouldn't it be obvious enough to say, well, stop worrying about it? You would probably know if you hit somebody. That's the logical answer. But when it comes to OCD, that's not enough. because it takes what people care about and what they value and tries to destroy it. So you probably care about people. You care about doing the right thing. You care about making sure that other people are all right and okay. So when it comes to the treatment, we use what's called exposure and response prevention. What this means is that you are facing your fears and you're going to respond differently to that fear when it comes. When anxiety hits and says you're in danger, if you're not responding as if that anxiety matters, then it's sending a signal right back that says, you're kind of lying to me. You're telling me I'm in danger, but I don't actually physically see anything. This is a perceived threat. You're taking a risk that you may or may not have actually hit somebody. And I know that is so scary because you want to be sure. But this treatment purposely wants you to be unsure. On purpose. You don't know. You're not going to figure it out. The more you try to control, the more you'll get stuck in this cycle. So an example of an exposure may be, I am purposely going to just drive. I'm not looking at my mirrors unless I'm actually turning lanes. Any threat that comes to my brain that says, what if you hit somebody? You're not checking. You're gonna feel anxious tonight. Are you sure? You're responding with every threat that comes into your brain with a maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Could be, maybe not. But you're not going back to the scene. You're not checking anymore. Because every time you do, you're getting stuck. And you're actually gonna cause probably more anxiety. More uncertainties come up that you can't answer. And the whole idea is to respond differently to the threats and the fears that are coming your way. Other exposures individuals may do is like purposely go over potholes and say, yep, just hit somebody. Cool. Yep, just hit another person. Awesome. Cool, 10 points, 15 points, 20 points. I need to get 50 points today. I'm not saying go find pedestrians and run them over. I'm saying live your life. Drive the way you drive. Hit a pothole on purpose. And when the brain says you hit somebody, often we're saying, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Or some people choose to agree with it. Yep, totally hit somebody. Awesome, not going back to check. Not looking at the news, not asking my friend, not asking my spouse. I'm willing to sit with this uncomfortableness. That feeling may go away, it might not, but either way, my brain is learning that this has no value. I'm not giving it anything. And we repeat and repeat and repeat and do this over and over and over and over. Because there's a point where the brain stops wanting to throw these threats your way because you're just not giving into them anymore. So the biggest part of this treatment is stop doing those compulsions. Be more uncertain about those perceived threats and fears. So OCD therapists are actually really hard to find. And that is why I created this online course for OCD. It takes you through everything you need to know about yourself and the treatment. It goes through videos, worksheets, assignments, specifics on how to actually do the treatment. All of these treatment strategies are evidence-based. So I will make sure I will link this down in the description below. Check it out. And here's my question for you. Have you struggled with hit and run OCD before? How do you experience it? What are those compulsions that you do? What things actually helped you? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.